Supply and Hair Studio fii si biir Gambia ñu jox leen mees yu rafet 100% human hair lépp loon na ma nag si beauty products ñu jox la ko emuma foofu de seen xale yi dem school maa ngi leen amal baag waaye di yéen ñi nga xam ne nag yéen a ngee dem liggéey maa ngi leen amal baag night party ñëw leen ma jox leen baag kola boo xalaat daala nag inches boo nama am neen ko ñu ñëw nag si li nga xam ne mooy poosi xew yi poosi ngénte yi poosi takka yi waaye poosi dem pari yi yëpp mu ngi si suma place bi ñëw leen foofu noonu si fi nga xam ne nag mooy mooli Gambia bi foofu noonu si Tipa garage bi shop number
19
ñu jox la bagage yu rafet ku laajte US Beauty Supply and Hair Studio mu wan la ko defaral sa boppa ma wan la sa toogaay.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon to each and every one of you watching Gambian Talents TV. This is the first episode of the A Course of the Elect, where we bring you politicians to talk about pressing issues in the country and, of course, their policies as per their constituency. And here with me in this first episode is the National Assembly member for Kombo, is Honorable Abdou Sowe, who will actually take us through his educational background, how he entered into politics, and, of course, some of the developments he has brought to his constituency so far. Until then, let me give him the microphone and let him introduce himself, of course, for the benefit of those who don't actually know who is. But then I guess his household name, the name, so by now he should be known by almost everybody in the country. Good day, Honorable.
Good morning. Good morning, my brother. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Nice, Honorable. Before we get into the program proper, can you take us through your educational background? Where did you study your schooling and where did you live?
Yes, as usually I always put it to people that I am hailed here in Bonto, and I went to primary school at Cloro Primary School in the mid-80s, and I graduated my basic education at St. Augustine Senior Secondary School. We were the second batch of the senior secondary school education system. And I was a science student. I was a pure science student, and I completed my senior secondary schools with 8 credits, including all my science subjects. And because of my family background then, I was unable to further my education. My ambition was to be a medical doctor, and the only alternative that I had was to go to Ghana to study. Unfortunately, I could not have scholarship, or I did not got enrolled in the School of Nursing to pursue my studies. Then I diverted my course and went to the Gambia College and graduated as a teacher, and went for teaching. I taught for only 1 academic year. Then I grabbed a scholarship from the London Chamber of Commerce and Industry to divert my course into commerce. I was sponsored by the London Chamber of Commerce to undergo an advanced diploma in business studies and financial accounting. Then in the early 2000s, I was enrolled under the London Chamber of Commerce at the Institute of it used to be at Syed Job Avenue. It was a renowned institute called at number 1 Syed Job Avenue. Some people know it as Pasinyan School, but I had my lectures. It was a distant learning. I used to have my lectures at the GTTI and the MDI. My exams, it should have been 4 years. I squeezed it up to 9 months. And then I had my advanced diplomas then under the London Chamber of Commerce, LCCI, and I came up with merits. I merited all my key subjects. Then I further got another scholarship within them. And again I studied. I wanted to go under my HND, Higher National Diploma, under the London Chamber of Commerce, which I also obtained, and I got absorbed by the Trust Bank then. And I worked for Trust Bank for almost 9 months. I shifted, I traveled, I come back. Then again, I get into other IT courses. I studied, I obtained my higher national diploma in computer science. Then it used to be, we started it with the MS-DOS, the old version of computing, and this is what made me comfortable to work in the banking industry. Since then, I have been a banker, and undergoing courses. I went for overseas courses, in-house training courses. I was in Lagos for 3 times. Then again, I served in various departments and units of banking. I started being a cashier and a head teller. Then I worked into the business development unit as a public sector banker, a commercial banker, and a retail banker. In all these bankings, I headed units, and then finally I was into the risk management department, which I was the head of risk management and recoveries for many years. And I've been serving banking in the managerial level. And I always sit in the board to give updates to the board members. So I was a banker my banking career lasted for almost 19 years in all, until 2017, when I decided to venture into politics. I resigned, and then I get to politics. I contested for the first time in 2017 as an independent candidate. I lost, but I didn't lose courage. I maintained myself, and then I remained to be a businessman, an entrepreneur, to be working on civil engineering, contractual works. I was one time contracted at the UTG campus in Faraba on road works, which I did successfully. Upon that, I've also been involved in community development activities voluntarily, without anywhere I see I can intervene and I have the means, I will do, without having any party to support from the revenues, from the profits that I gain. I share it with people, because one thing is, my feeling is, I belong to the people, and I think I am part of the people. And whatever I had, apart from feeding myself, I need not to save my money at the detriment of other people who need it. And I think you all must know this within my communities, that I get extra miles to make sure that I serve the people. So basically, this is what it is. In the Quranic, in the Islamic way too, I have undergone some Islamic classes at home. We locally call them daras, and I can be able to read and understand the Quranic verses, and I am taking through the disciplines of Islam. Yeah.
Good. That's quite important. Looking, at your career, how it all started and where you are today, is something that actually you would be very proud of yourself and, of course, your family. Because I could remember you made mention of, studying science, but at some point, you get a stage that you couldn't pursue your studies in pure science, as a reason of probably maybe from the family you hail from a very humble family at the time, I believe. Good. As a result, you improvised. You didn't quit, you didn't stop, but then you changed to the alternative, either plan B, and try to study management at you went to Gambia College, I guess, study, you become a teacher, and then that's how your actually career keep on transitioning until you get yourself into the bank, undergo different studies, and then doors keep on opening. Have scholarship, overseas studies, and come back. And then you decide to actually get into the banking system. It is one of the very important institutions in this country. Banks are very crucial, So having that, and then being an independent guy doing all these things, being a key guy in almost all the top departments in all those institutions, is something that actually comes with challenges and, of course, so many responsibility. As somebody, and of course, I love very low-key guy who actually, like you said, you're not that much on the public domain out there, but then your work is actually surfacing out there. Tell us, how was it going at the time when you actually know you are mounting this serious position, especially when mention of the risk management. That's a very crucial, and a very critical aspect in the banking system. How do you go with issues like that at some point?
Good. What guided me most is my humbleness. I'm from a very humble family, and I get to realize myself within those ranks. And I think I need to be humble to gain what I want. And I clearly outlined my objectives in life, and I think I am running through them without turning back or looking by the sides. I am somebody that started very rough. My parents, both my parents were alive. My father was fallen sick, and we were left with our mom. Our mom was a trader, and she was just a vendor, struggling to meet our ends meet. And honestly, it always reminds me of being humble, because the way I was brought up and having memories of the old days of my family, I thought I need to work harder to make sure I get to the level I am today and even beyond. And I think I'm on track, considering the stages that I went through to be who I am. This is why I am not easily being distracted. I'm focused because I know my goals, and I'm going after my goals, and I must achieve them. So when I get into the banking system, then it used to be a very scarce job. There used to be very limited banks, and I could remember around here, my brother, the time I started working as a banker, I was a unique person in this community. And I think this is when people get to know me. That doesn't make me to move from where I am here in Bonto. I used to travel from here because of knowing my family. I could not accommodate myself in the Kombos and then be taking care of my family. I kept it up with my family, and I always disciplined myself to be waking up early hours, to board on the gele-geles and then be traveling from Bonto in the early hours to get to Banjul and Westfield. And this has been something that I adopted. And even to revise back during my school days, I stayed at home here. I will board vehicles here, get to Brikama, and board on the first bus to go to Banjul for my high school. And these things were because I am determined. I know where I want to be, and I'm focused, and that's all I'm interested of. Nothing else, and nothing distracts me. And while I was in the banking too, I applied the same disciplines. I know I am working in a very crucial and a very delicate position, but I make sure that I feel content. As a head of risk management and as a credit analyst, I've faced so many compromises from customers, and but they never tempt me, because I wanted to serve diligently, because that was just a passage that I want to pass through, and I'm going ahead. And I think if you have that kind of thing in mind, you will be very mindful and be careful, be content, because it's a passage. It's a transit point that you need to walk ahead. So it's not a final destination of your life, and you need to move on. And this is what I keep considering myself to be. And this is why I'm always humble in society. Yeah.
Good. It's always good for one to be content, actually. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said we actually need to be content, Now, moving on, 2017, you shift from banking to politics now. What actually inspired you to enter into politics?
That's a very good question. I've not been a political fan before, although I affiliate myself to political parties. I was then affiliated to the APRC, and I have not been a politician on stage, but I've been somebody that is a sympathizer to the party because of the development agendas that I've seen coming up between 1994 and towards the early 2000s. So I felt he's a young president that is with the ambition to transform the country into what our dreams are then. And until 2017, when the change of government arises, and being a banker, knowing the economy and knowing the kind of transactions that are being held in our country, and the businesses that are going on, and how finances are being owned, the equities of people, the equities of Gambians and non-Gambians, as compared to the interests. We all know in the commercial banking system, we've seen how businesses goes and how do they enhance businesses, and who benefits, how many, if you take by statistics to know how many Gambians benefit facilities that are being given out to commercial banks against people that are in active businesses, it's like the opportunities are about to be lost by our own Gambian people. And I thought if I get into the National Assembly, I'll be able to advocate um, for it to be under a very liberal and fair play system, that opportunities will be given, more service delivery will be offered to the needy people, and more sensitization, enlightenment, and better closeness between the banks and customers are to be put in place for customers also to understand the importance of money and the essence of money, not only spending but also investing, so that the investment opportunities for our local Gambian people be raised, be made understood, and then the commercial banks, what we know about what it's going. Because if you get into the lending system, you get into the recovery portfolios, you find a lot of defaulters, and most of these defaulters are local businesses, Gambians that own their businesses. If you look into the causes deeply, it might be lack of knowledge and expertise. So many people defaulted because they didn't know what are they to venture in investment, and what will be their investment returns, what are the risks. They will just be eager to get the loan approved and have it, spend it anyhow. So I think there should have been more to it for people to be enlightened. But to be candid, when I get into the assembly, it is a different thing. It's not as expected that yes, you can make things change alone. It's a parliament. It's a collective responsibility of people. You have to belong to certain committees to be able to showcase your expertise. You need to be listened at to make sure that you get the required quorum to get into some things that will benefit the people. It is totally a total different ball game compared to behind the scene. When you were not in the parliament, you thought you can make something different. It's completely different, my brother. I must tell you that. Yes, so that is my number one inspiration to get in. Again, it was also to be said that there was a slogan going on to the young people that it is not too young to participate in the parliamentary. I confronted some of the young people of Kombo to participate, and I will give support. But at the end of the day, no one volunteered, and I get into it to think that yes, I could be one of the young people that would be in the parliament in 2017. Unfortunately, that couldn't. I kept moving because
At that time you ran as an independent, right?
yes, I ran as an independent candidate, and we were four contenders: the coalition candidate, the former MP, the APRC candidate, the GDC candidate, and myself as an independent. But I ran third after the APRC. So then I was even making a litmus test. But when I realized that yes, people's attention have grown onto me, and I've started running around the constituency to know the constraints of people, and already people have gained hope. At least if 1,000 plus voted for me for the first time, and they trusted me, why would I quit? So I kept doing my responsibilities as a trusted person in community, and I intervene in so many areas of intervention that are required. But I was not doing it because I want to show myself, but because I was doing it because I should be doing it because I'm entrusted. Even if I was voted by a single vote, there is trust for me within my constituency. I maintained it. I kept moving without any other outside support. I used my own resources to help and support and intervene to the level that, I think, I become the household name. But believe me, before 2017, I was less known in my constituency because of my job. I only have my free days on Sundays. I had never stepped in other villages before 2017. Villages even like Kafuta Sangenga and Kafuta Tumbo, the Nijis and the others. That was my first time to step in. But when I stepped in and I saw their living conditions, that motivated me to keep up the struggle to make sure that, yes, I represent them. And here I am today as their representative.
Great. It was a long journey, but then, as the saying goes, I mean, the patient dog eat the fattest bone. I mean, you've been waiting for this for so long, so Alhamdulillah. Now, you have the shade in the parliament through a UDP ticket. How did your shift from being an independent to actually joining a UDP came about?
Yes, first of all, I must thank the leadership of the United Democratic Party for having bestowed trust on me during the primaries. Although it was not something that I desperately go after. In fact, I was approached for more than 3 times. I rejected because it was not something willful to contest at the time because I was not prepared. And the reason being, it was a very saturated. The UDP contested in Kombo East during the presidential. They lost. And there was so much demoralization and loss of confidence in the militants of the UDP, thinking that things would not fall well again. And again, secondly, the candidate, the aspirant, the incumbent also was interested, and he was a very close friend. And I could remember he one time confronted me, telling me that he need my support. I said, yes. Yes, I should support you. He said I should join the selection committee. I said, no, I'm not an executive member. I'm just a sympathizer of the party, and I don't want to interfere. I kept on my businesses. To the time that they approached me, I was surprised that, yes, this is what is happening. I rejected it twice for the reason that I cannot betray him. To the 3rd time that they went through my family, and my family convinced me and some other friends that, yes, it is the formula, because we thought you are the winning candidate. So if you did not contest, you must be somebody that, we might lose the seat, all right? And it was meant for UDP. But I accepted with condition. 1, they must refer back to the incumbent for him to invite me voluntarily and tell me that, yes, I am declining and let you go, and which he did. 1. 2, because I don't want to be a betrayer. 2, I must be somebody that will be let to design my own campaign strategy, because I must know how to win my elections. I'm a choice of people. All political parties are being affiliated to me, because people are not seeing me as a member of the UDP. People are seeing me in the constituency as somebody that is that has a cordial relationship at home, in the houses, in the families. So meaning everybody has confidence and hope in me. So irrespective of which political party you may belong to. Evident to that is my own home, Bonto. You could attest to it. When we get into the polls, people that were swearing that they would never put their votes in the UDP ballots, voted for me. And they came back to me with tears that it is only you that will make me do this. And I said, thank you. So if those kind of people voted for me into office, I need to be very neutral. In my doings, I need to be very frank. I need to be close to everybody. I need not to be partisan. Yes, I must show my allegiance when it comes to party affairs, but outside.
Also, don't you think, hence they are the one that actually give that support also with the support of your hometown people or your constituent, don't you think it's also good to actually be in line with the principles of the Democratic Party when you are dealing? Because every party has their own principles.
Now, I am to ask, what principles have I ever violated? This is the million questions, you know. I am coming up to build my justified points. This is what I am coming through. You have to be obedient and then be compliant, which I clearly know. The United Democratic Party principles did not deter anybody, you know, to affiliate or associate itself under democratic principles with anybody, right? You need to open up. As a liberal Democrat, you need to be open to everyone. I think we need numbers. And in getting these numbers, you need not to be hostile to your opponents. You need to be open to them. You welcome them. Show them your kind attitude that will inspire them to join you, and which I've been doing. So many people have been lured from other political parties into the party that I was in, United Democratic Party, due to my own comportment. We all know you are a living witness of every election that walks into Bonto. Even if I am not at home, I will give my own side and then I will make my own lobby in-house to make sure that, yes, even if you don't put on the yellow t-shirt or you don't sympathize with us, I am interested of your votes, right or wrong.
You've been a lucky supporter on the law.
Yes, and I've been convincing people to do that, and which people have been honoring me of. So, in doing so, there are some diehards that would want you to be painting yourself yellow and do everything. It's not that important. What is important is your effort, your output. Is not how you comport yourself. You could be yellow from head to toe without no impact. You can be somebody in the mufti, you be in green, you work hard for the party. So the thing is, this is what some members of the United Democratic Party fail to understand. If they don't see you in yellow, they compromise, they keep gossiping you, they keep talking bad about you, they keep labeling you. And coming down to my own constituency, in days before, they hardly conduct their meetings in public places. There are so many villages that they are not allowed to conduct their meetings in public places. But when I came into the party, because of the respect I had for people and the leaders within the Kombo East, the Alcalo Association, the chieftaincies, and some politicians that are influential, were able to give me that leverage, that freedom to make sure that we can do our things anyhow we want it. That's the understanding. Respect is reciprocal, my brother. Politics, yes, you can be any kind of a politician, but there is a level of respect that you should give to people, and they give same back to you. There is no day that I conducted my meeting anywhere that people will come and pack me up. That has never happened. So I cannot also be very aggressive to people that have given me that opportunity. I would walk ahead to work on my own political agenda to make sure that I increase numbers. What we need as a party is how many people would be willing to give their votes to the party, but not how many people put on t-shirts, how many people put flags on their fences and paint their houses yellow or have their seats green or white. No, that's not important. What is important is how many people have you got assured to be with you. That's politics. And that's what I have been doing. And I think that one was compatible to the principles of the party. Right? But to people that, in every, I must tell you one example in life. It was not something that everybody wanted to in 2022 when elections were about to. But when it was that easy that United Democratic secured that position here in Kombo East, many people stood up now thinking that it is as simple as I did. And now they started showing interest, and within the same constituency committee, they started putting on pressure. And kabudus, people are starting to, name their own aspirants. Now bringing disunity among ourselves and disrespect. And one thing I would not take for anybody, that is to disrespect me. If anytime anybody disregards me, you lost me completely. Because I would never attempt to disrespect any member or any person in society. But any day that anybody, even if you were to give me a bag of gold, keep it. I'm done. You see, respect is reciprocal. We need to be disciplined in our own activities, in our own behaviors, in our own approaches. But you cannot just elect somebody. You don't know how he wants. If anybody who knows me here in Kombo East knows how much I invested to secure my position.
I could actually testify before you in fact get into politics. You've been helping so many communities here when it comes to the road and all the issues. I mean, but now what actually lingers here is, or which is the multi-million-dollar question. Even though you were serving as the National Assemblyman for Kombo East on the UDP ticket, are you telling us still there are people within the